What's up, guys? We are headed to get some bleach. We gotta clean our syrup tanks, and we're gonna pull some feeders out of our boxes and get our division board feeders bleached up for the season. We're getting ready to drop some liquid feed on next week. It's a little later than what we normally do it, but we're still okay. We'll be fine. They're not starving to death. We got sugar blocks on them, and don't really want to stimulate them too much because we don't have any queens right now to split anyway. So we'll be raising queens probably the middle of March, maybe the latter part of March, to get our colonies split up with. So we're headed down to Lowe's to get some bleach and some other things. Just thought we'd bring you along. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Hey guys, so we're out spot checking these yards, and I know it's kind of a little mix of everything in this video, but that's really what beekeeping is. We got a lot to do, we got a lot to check on, and we're getting ready to drop some sugar syrup on these colonies. We've been using sugar bricks, but the time's come to switch it over, and we're going to do that probably tomorrow, and we'll bring you along for that as well. But we're also going to give them their last round of pollen supplement because, you know, it's going to rain for the next week here, and yeah, we've got a lot of pollen coming in, but we don't ever want them to feel like they're doing without. And these colonies are growing tremendously. I'm not sure if you can see, but they've ate all their pollen supplement. All their sugar brick is gone, and it's a beautiful sight, really, in the bee yard to see this. But this box is real light, and this colony is ready for sugar syrup. I don't know if you can see all these drones we got. We've got plenty of drones. Now tomorrow we're going to be going through these colonies and giving them a once over more or less, and cleaning out any of the feeders before we add feed. So we're going to go ahead and look at the bees. If we find any with swarm cells, we hadn't raised queens yet. If we find any with swarm cells, we're going to go ahead and split that colony over a double screen board. That way we got the swarm control taken care of. Also, it's getting about time for us to equalize colonies, and we'll be going through all our colonies equalizing. And basically what that is, that's taken from the rich and given to the poor. We'll use our stronger colonies, and we'll equalize, and we'll give brood to some of the weaker colonies to build them up. It helps the bigger colonies not swarm, and it'll also get the weaker colonies built up in time to capitalize on the honey flow. This box is it's light. They've got plenty of sugar on top, but we're going to go ahead and give them some liquid feed. They need liquid feed. It's more stimulative to them, and I think they just do better overall on it, so that's what we're going to do. And just kind of wanted to show you what it looks like, you know, how these boxes build up. It's pretty amazing to watch spring build up of bees and how they go from a small cluster and they practically explode over time. So that's what we're doing today. We still got more to come. We're going to be mixing some sugar syrup, so stay tuned. We'll show you that, and getting ready to feed all these colonies tomorrow. As you can see, we're mixing up the last batch of pollen supplement today. We've got a good amount of pollen coming in, but it's supposed to be raining for the next week or so. We're brooding up heavy. The boxes are full of bees. We're going to be equalizing soon and splitting. So this is just some of the beekeeping that's not really beekeeping. Guys, what we're doing, we're just filling this sugar syrup toad up with water and bleach. We'll let it set for about an hour, then we'll rinse it out real good and clean, and that's all you got to do. You just want to kill the molds. You don't even have to get all the mold spots out. You just want it to be dead before you start feeding again. No big deal. And we're just using Clorox germicidal bleach for it. Hey, well, we finally got around to mixing our sugar syrup. We're going to go with a 1.5 part sugar to 1 part water mixture. The reason we're doing that is it'll be a little stimulative to the bees still, but it won't put too much moisture into the hive. We're still going to have some low temperatures in the weeks to come, and it's supposed to rain for the next week, I think. So we're going to try to get this on soon. The way we mix it, we'll take 25 pounds of sugar and mix that to 2 gallons of water and mix it up real good, and that'll make real close to a 1.5 to 1 mixture. So we just wanted to show you how we're going to do it. And what he's doing is he's just putting a 25 pound of sugar in the water, and we'll mix it up later. And the way we mix it, we'll show you. We use a drill and a paddle to mix it with. And like I said, we're just using a 1/2 inch drill with a paddle on it, and we're going to mix it until it's all mixed up. You don't really have to heat it. I mean, it's going to set overnight too. Heating it does help. It speeds it along, but with this drill and paddle, it's always worked fine for us, and it saves us a little money on having to have a hot water heater. So that's what we're doing. We normally use a 55-gallon steel drum to do this, a food grade drum, but the reason it had some moldy syrup in it, and we didn't want to deal with it left over from last year, and so we use this Rubbermaid tote trash can. So keep in mind, we've broke several Rubbermaid totes, and it really makes a mess. So I recommend you use a steel drum. This paddle will sometimes crack these totes if you hit the side of it, and it really makes a mess and wastes a whole bunch of money. So just make sure you're very careful if you're going to use a trash can versus a steel drum. Going into our mixing container. The suction hose goes into the suction port on the gear pump, and if we release the trigger on the fuel nozzle, it will actually recirculate and prevent the pressure from building up into the system. It got late on us. It's dark outside, so we had to move this video into the honey house. But we got all our sugar syrup made, we got our pollen patties made, and we'll have a full day of beekeeping to show you tomorrow. But this is kind of a part of beekeeping. It's not really beekeeping, but it's stuff that has to be done. We had to spot check our colonies, see which ones are ready to be supered. We had to make sugar syrup. We had to go get sugar. We had to make pollen supplement. It's been a day, and it's a long, hard day, but it's part of it. And we enjoy this part just as much as we do the other part. We hope you found some of this information useful. It's by no means the only way to do things, but it's what works for us, and we enjoy doing it the way we do. There's definitely better ways to mix your sugar syrup. You know, we're looking at getting a trash pump and mixing it into a container, but you know, everything costs money, and we're trying to stay as debt-free as possible. And you know, everything we own is paid for. We don't have any loans with a bank, so that's where we're at in our operation. So we'll bring you along tomorrow and kind of show you us feeding the bees and doing our first actual colony checks of the new year, really. I mean, we hadn't broke into the brood nest hardly at all, so we want to get a good idea of what they're doing. If they're some of them's probably on the verge of swarming. Honestly, the boxes are full, and if they are, we'll take care of that too. But just wanted to bring you along. We appreciate you watching, and happy beekeeping.
Thanks for watching. See you in the bee yard.